Thank you for joining us on Digital Contractor Show and Turfs Up Radio. I'm your host, Chris Fonert with Hardscape Marketer, and I'm here with Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California. How are you today, Robert?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
My pleasure. So, Robert, let's jump right in here. How long have you guys been in business?
We just celebrated our 20th year anniversary this year. We started back in 1999 when we started.
1999. I was looking at the About Us section on the webpage, and that's definitely an awesome story to tell. For a little more background on the company, how much revenue are you guys doing annually?
Well, it's definitely been scaling throughout the past years, but I think we're steady right around 3.5 million. We have reached 4.5, close to 5 million at some point, but right now we're kind of steadying off of 3.5 million revenue. I think this year we're a little under 3 million, but that's not the consistent revenue that we normally get. Right.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's definitely, with your line of work, a lot of spikes up and down bigger projects and coming down, and then like we were talking to Caleb Baldwin, and top line numbers aren't always bottom line numbers or reflected, but happy to dive more into that. How many employees do you guys have?
We currently have 18 employees. We have 18 employees. We also work with a lot of independent contractors as well, but we right now we're 18, including office staff.
How many are in the office?
In the office, we have 4 employees, including myself. I have an office manager. I have a design assistant, and then I have a maintenance coordinator as well, and myself. So that's 4 of us. And if you want to count my dad as well, who sometimes hangs out in the office, it would be like 5. So, but mainly I'm in the field. My dad's in the field. So there's consistently 4 people in the office.
Yeah, it takes a lot of cat herding when you're doing that kind of revenue for those projects. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the services that you guys offer. Can you fill the audience in on the line items that you guys will typically contract for?
Sure. Our company is broken down into two different sections. One is commercial maintenance of properties, commercial landscape maintenance. We started out with a lot of residential as well too, but we're kind of leaning away from residential maintenance, and we focusing on commercial maintenance. And the other strong side of our business, I believe, is the landscape hardscape installation for residential and commercial applications as well too. So we do anything from a lot of decorative concrete, masonry. There's outdoor kitchens, outdoor luxury backyards. We have done a lot of hotels in Southern California where we were brought in for specialty items for some of the cities as well, city work, but more like on the decorative city work stuff that your basic curb and gutter guy can't do. So hardscape and landscape installation is, I would say, it's our strength.
Right, that's awesome. So I heard you say you were traveling for hotels and everything. How big is the geographical area that you guys serve?
If you're familiar with Southern California, we're in the middle, and we go all the way to the Calabasas area. We also go into South Orange County as well. So I would say anywhere between 30 miles radius from our location. We like to stay close, and I'm leaning more toward staying closer to headquarters, but we have done some jobs that are pretty far in Southern California. We've done jobs in San Diego, which is a 3.5 hour drive from where we're at. But that's only because there's clients that, we have clients in Southern California in the LA area that really want us to go to San Diego to work on a particular project. So we'll make exceptions for certain clients, but we typically like to stay within 10 to 15 miles from our headquarters.
Right. Well, that's so smart. Save on those logistical costs going that way. That's awesome. So how did you guys dial that in? Was there a time then you would travel, all over just to get the work, or you would travel for bigger jobs, or like, how did you land on that, 10 to 30 miles radius from the shop?
Well, we get requests for projects, and at first, if it's the San Diego job was a W Hotel, which is the Hotel Republic now in downtown San Diego, and so it's exciting to be invited to do these big projects. But then when we talk numbers, when we look at the numbers and we think about the amount of miles that and the amount of time that our guys are in the trucks, it really bites into our profit. It really digs into our profit. So we're starting to track the downtime a lot closer now, where there's more production and there's guys outside of the truck working versus inside the truck for that reason. And then also, networking with other contractors. There's a contractor here in my area who I invited him to do a job that was probably about 5 miles away from his headquarters. And he says, "Oh, no, that's too far. I only serve, Rossmore and Seal Beach." And I'm thinking, so if that's too far, then what am I doing serving these 20-mile, far projects? So obviously I like to learn from other contractors that are really successful and that have it down, they have a system down. So that's how I learned. So we try to stay a lot more local than before.
That's awesome. And it makes total sense. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to dive right in with some more guest background with Robert from Angels Landscape and Paramount. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Contractor Show on Turfs Up Radio.
Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, this is Chris Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscaping business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
We're back on the Digital Contractor Show with Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the business got started. Robert, can you tell us how Angels got started and then when you stepped in?
Absolutely. So the business was started by my dad, Angel. That's how we get the name Angels Landscape. And my dad was he was in he's been in the green industry for many years. And he took a break to go pursue music and acting during the 90s and 80s. And so that went well for a while. But then there was a change in his life where he said, "You know what, I want to stay away from that. And I just want to only work in the green industry." I was in the aerospace industry during that time. And so what he did, he just borrowed a lawnmower and bought himself a rake and a blower. And he just went door to door knocking, just the old fashioned way. I mean, the way people do it back in the 80s, they have little cards printed and put them in the doors and just started picking up some maintenance accounts for residential purposes. I was in the aerospace industry during the time for 10 years. And he was asking me to help him out, do some designs on the side and how to write up quotes, et cetera. And helping him out on weekends, I realized that I was making a nice amount of money compared to my aerospace job. And then finally, he asked me to get licensed by the state. So I got licensed in 2002 for him. And in 2004, I made the change, So that's the history. It was started by my dad. Like everybody, you bump into these big projects where you just can't handle. And there goes him knocking on my door. And so I joined him. And I wonder sometimes if I'd made the right choice. I mean, I left the aerospace industry to come in the green industry. But you know what? It's been an amazing ride. I really developed a love for this industry, especially the hardscape and the landscape installation. It's a creative process. So I've always said, the combination of my aerospace background, which we dealt with really tight tolerances, like down to the micron and nanometer. And also the fact that I'm an artist on my free time. I paint I draw. When you combine that creative side with the aerospace technical side into the green industry and the hardscape industry, there's really room to stand out as a landscape artist. And that's, I think, what we've been able to develop throughout the years. We've been able to stand out as a company that delivers excellent work, award-winning work. And for that reason, we're just nonstop.
And that's what you would say is your unique selling proposition then, right? That's how you position yourself over the competition?
Right. I study that a lot, what people respond to, what I respond to. And I respond to someone who's not pushy. I respond to somebody who's confident. And so I try to come across as a salesperson that I would enjoy, and at the same time, I do work a lot on a brand. So I really try to push a brand, and I try to put myself in a position where I'm not really just another contractor that you're getting a third bid or a second bid from. I always try to compete against myself, and when I'm talking to a client, I feel that it's really important that they understand that their project is going to be my baby. It's going to be my creation, my work of art. And it's my goal for them to see that hiring me means that you're going to have a project that was created by Robert Renteria, the landscape artist in the area. And so I think it's safe to say at this point, according to a lot of my clients, that I've been able to achieve that. And for that reason, marketing is really not something that I pursue right now. I mean, it's because I have a lot of calls coming in. I can talk about that in a bit, about how, what's my strongest marketing points and how I get a lot of business.
Perfect. So who is your ideal customer? What's your target market?
My ideal customer is, I would say, it had to be like upper class family, probably within 50 years old and 65, maybe 45 to 65 years old. I think at that point, I've had every types of clients. I've had young ones, young business owners, middle class, but I've just learned that it's a much more peaceful process if I'm working with folks that really value legitimacy, folks that value integrity and excellence. I don't want a client that's trying to lowball me and trying to get me to match their other contractor's price, who probably wasn't licensed or insured. My clients, the clients that I want are the ones that value the fact that I've done everything I possibly can to business right in California. And if somebody doesn't value those things, then honestly, I don't want to be their contractor. It's important to me that my client understands that I'm also deciding if I want to contract with you. A lot of the times contractors are hoping that they would get the job regardless of who the client is. And I'm always trying to figure out if that client says, hey, we want to use you as our contractor, I may not want to use them. I may not want them to be my client. I know it sounds like I'm full of myself, but I really feel that in order for this to operate well and for me to deliver an award-winning project for that client, I have to like you. I have to know that we share some values,
Well, being in a position where you can accept your ideal client and ideal work is a goal that every contractor should have, definitely. Those are definitely pearls of wisdom. And we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back on the Digital Contractor Show on Turf's Up Radio.
Hey, Turf's Up Radio fans, this is Chris Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscaping business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
We are back on the Digital Contracting Show here on Turfs Up Radio with our guest, Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California. And we are going to talk about old school marketing, the marketing overview. Robert, I'm going to dive in with this question. What types of marketing do you do? And what is your marketing mix?
That I did in the past, you said old school, or that I'm currently doing right now?
Everything that's not digital, like everything that goes to that, and like ties together, because it's all it's all one unit.
Yeah, well, we obviously we have T-shirts, we have shirts that our guys wear, uniforms that have our logos, and we have all of our vehicles are branded with our logos on the doors. We try to stay away from the type of logos or decals on trucks that include a lot of information. We just want to have our logo, like our emblem, and for people to memorize that versus a lot, like, a list, like a menu of what we do. We don't like doing that. We have a website that has sort of been lonely for a while since we've been busy. We have business cards, and we have little flyers that we would hand out. We've done some charity events, some TV shows, and in the TV shows, there's our banner, at the shooting site or at the charity events. There's our logo there as well on on the walls hanging, and so we've done stuff like that. There's Blue Book, and we've done. I think there was in the past we've done Yellow Book as well, which is like a book that people receive in their door and they can see our ad in there. But that's pretty much what we do.
What would you say drives the most leads for you?
The most leads? That's a great question. Our number one lead generator is an architect here in the Long Beach area that discovered our work probably about 18 years ago. So a landscape architect, all he does is draw all day. So the trick is to find a landscape architect that doesn't build. All he does is design, And so his joy is to see his actual creation come to life. And in the past, my designer, his name is Andy DeYoung. He's a great guy. He has done some designs, and he goes back to the property to visit the property. And this is the property that maybe another contractor built. And he sees that the shapes and the squareness and, the masonry is not like he designed it. So it's kind of a bummer when you're the designer and then you go back to the site and the company was not able to execute the design. So when he discovered our work, he realized that our work was spot on to his design. I mean, he can draw any shape, any circular shape, and it can be concrete, it can be, an oval, and I will match it to the T, because that's what I did in the aerospace industry. We could not be less than a micron off. So to transfer somebody's design into real life, for me, it's exciting, but it's easy as well. So every time he does a design and his client asks him, well, thanks for your design. Now, do you recommend a contractor that can execute the design? And guess whose name he gives? He gives us. So Andy DeYoung has been the number one source of great leads, because anyone that's willing to pay $2,500 to $3,000 for a design is serious about their contractor, So
right.
Our designer, that's been, I mean, there's more sources of leads, but that is the number one.
Well, and that answers the next question, the most profitable channel for leads, right? Like you said, he's the best, the most and the best, right?
He's the best, and for residential purposes, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So have you guys stopped anything in the last couple of years that just hasn't been working anymore?
Yeah, I mean, we used to run the Blue Book. Have you heard of the Blue Book?
Yeah.
we did the Blue Book, and we did get one lead from them that's a powerful lead, and we still do business with this one client. That's the one lead that gives us all of our hotel renovation projects. So that's been a great lead that we developed through Blue Book. But Blue Book, you just get so many lead opportunities every day in your inbox. It's kind of overwhelming, so you would need somebody full time to just follow up with the leads that you get from Blue Book. And a lot of the times these leads are sent to, 300 other contractors. So I need to decide, am I going to pursue a lead where I come recommended and they want me to bid the job exclusively, or am I going to pursue a lead where there's 300 people that are after this lead? So for me, it makes sense to pursue the leads that there's a 99% chance I can close them. So we stopped doing Blue Book. We stopped doing Yelp. I feel like Yelp was not serving us well. I think the Yellow Book was very ineffective. So I get calls every single day for marketing campaigns. But my problem is that I get calls every day for new business. So it doesn't make any sense to jump on some more marketing strategies, right?
Well, I guess it would depend on the kind of calls that you were getting. But yeah, I mean, staying current on job photos and all that jazz is always good for moving forward. We always talk highly about that, but dumping a bunch of money on generating leads for work that your schedule can't accommodate is kind of silly too, right? So which way do you go? Well, that's very informative. We're going to take another quick break here on the Digital Contractor Show on Turf's Up Radio, and we'll be back.
Hey, Turf's Up Radio fans, this is Chris Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscaping business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
We are back on the Digital Contractor Show on Turf's Up Radio with Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California, and we're going to talk about a standout project. Robert, can you fill us in on something that you guys have done for the community?
Sure. Yeah. For the city of Compton, our Angels Landscape has been very involved in this initiative called the Compton Initiative when it started about 15 years ago. And we go out every third month, like 4 times a year, and we transform homes and schools and churches in the city of Compton. But one particular Compton event, we partnered with NBC, Denise Cramsey, who was the producer of Extreme Makeover Home Edition, if you remember that show. So she was a producer of that show. She pretty much created that show, and she was launching a new show before she passed away. It was called School Pride. So School Pride was the exact same thing that they did for Extreme Makeover Home Edition, but for schools. So there's a school in Compton called Enterprise Middle School where the whole school was transformed in, I believe, 7 days. And Angels Landscape was the premier landscape contractor and hardscape contractor. And we got the chance to design the entire entrance. And we installed pavers, some concrete, some plants. We painted the flagpole. We tore down the fence. And so it was just a lot of fun because we were able to feature our business where it wasn't really about profit dollar. It was more making an impact in our community. So after that project, I just realized that what I do is limitless, and it's not, the main purpose is not the profit dollars for us. It's the impact that we make in a community or in a person's life, whether we're donating a project or we're designing a project. So the back of my business card says, a company with a purpose called to impact. So that's what the back of our card says. And that's one of my values and one of my missions every time I do a project, that I don't just want to complete the project. I want to make an impact. I want to make an impact in whoever's going to enjoy it, in the neighborhood, or if I'm donating the project like I did for Enterprise Middle School, I want to make an impact in the community as well. So, and that whole concept continues today, where with my 20 years experience in this industry, I want to continue to make an impact in the industry, in the hardscape industry, in the landscape industry. I feel like there's a lot of room for us to be recognized a lot stronger, a lot better for the work that we do.
I agree wholeheartedly, and that's awesome. I love seeing good companies do good things for the community. We're going to get a little more in depth onto the ways that hardscapers and landscapers can be recognized here in the next segment. We're going to take another quick break on the Digital Contractor Show on Turf's Up Radio.
Hey, Turf's Up Radio fans, this is Chris Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscaping business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
We're back on the Digital Contractor Show on Turf's Up Radio with Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California. We're going to talk about the digital focus. Imagine that on the Digital Contractor Show. Robert, can you tell us what you've got going on to attract online reviews?
Well, I have, you mean like, are you talking about like people that review me on Yelp or Facebook or something like that? Or what do my reviews look like right now?
Like Google and Facebook, how's anything else? It's actually a violation of Yelp's terms of services to invite somebody to leave you a review. Everybody should check out the documentary $1 Billion Bully, by the by. But
Right.
like how you funneling that to get more Google reviews or Facebook, all that stuff.
Honestly, I really don't push that these days. If somebody asks me, hey, if there's something I can do, if you want a recommendation because we're really happy with our project, sometimes I remember to say, well, if you'd be so kind to go on Yelp and leave me a review. I don't really say Google or Facebook. I just say you can leave me a review on Yelp. And what the disappointing part is, I go on Yelp just to look at the review, and Yelp hides it somewhere, and I'm like, hey, what, that's a real review. So I just, that's not. I don't really rely on my reviews. I don't think I have bad reviews, but I just. When I finish a project, I just tell my client, if you'd be so kind to review me, that'd be great. But between you and I, like, it's not really that important to me. Like, if somebody is going to make a decision about my company based on a Yelp review, I just feel like that person is putting me in the category of every other contractor. And as we said earlier, I really enjoy when someone knows about me through a friend or a family or a magazine ad, and without even caring about the reviews, they just look for me, and they look for me like they would look for an artist to paint their backyard. So that's why reviews aren't really that important to me, to be honest. And I have some negative reviews on my Yelp, for example, where I don't really consider bad reviews. They're just reviews. He came by, he talked to us for 15 minutes, then he never got back to us. It's never a review like he came by, we contracted with him, he poured our concrete and did our masonry work, and it's a complete disaster. We hate it. You'll never see that. You'll just see someone angry because I didn't choose them as my client, So
for the audience out there, it takes years to build a skill set and a reputation to be able to operate like this, guys. And it's definitely a goal to have. And I'll just be honest, I don't like Yelp, but Google does great things for search ranking that way. So we'll talk after the interview. I'll set you up sweet. Let's talk a little bit more about what you're doing on social media and how that's been impacting your business.
Well, social media, I'm just putting a lot of photos and videos of my work, the current process. I get into details from the trenches, And it's been able to generate an interest in my friends and family and the folks that follow me on social media. So, I'm going to give you an example. This just happened. This just happened recently. My son's soccer coach reached out to me and says, "Hey, you're artist Renteria from Instagram, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Jeffrey Brake. I'm your son's soccer coach." "Oh, Jeffrey, how you doing?" "Yeah, I've been following you, and I just kind of put the two together, and I realized that I'm coaching your son." So it just turns out that there's people that are following me in the Cliff May Ranchos, the mid-century modern neighborhoods that I don't really know. So in a way, I'm starting to develop this sort of this presence in my area for the go-to guy when there's something really creative. So, and it all just started by me just going live on Instagram or on Facebook, and it's uncomfortable for me to do. That's not my comfort area, but man, does it produce results. So I'm getting more and more comfortable with it.
Are you doing anything other than Instagram and Facebook?
Just Instagram and Facebook right now. That's all I know.
Right. Comfort level. Well, I know you've got something in the works right now. Would you like to tell the audience a little bit more about it?
Yeah. So through Facebook, I've been able to. Well, through Instagram, the interest level of the guys that are following me, other businesses, I get messages all the time about, "Hey, I would like for you to mentor me. I would like to know about how you manage your projects. I would like to know more about how you pour concrete." So that triggered a private group on Facebook called the Rockstar Platform, and I've invited people to join this group for a fee, for a $97 a month fee, which people jump on it, and it's only been on since December 1st, and already I have, I think, 38 members in the group. And I mean, what I enjoy about this is that, I never thought that all these years of experience can actually turn into something I can actually teach and share with other folks. And I have two requirements. You have to be committed to integrity. That has to be one of your values, and also excellence. So I feel strongly about guys that want to know how to do the work, and do it well, and with high precision, with the best talent. So as you know, the hardscape industry consists of many different trades. There's masonry, there's concrete finishing, there's pavers, there's landscape, just general planting, there's lightscapes, there's waterscapes. I don't like it when one guy tries to be a jack of all trades and tries to deliver everything to a client. I believe that there's specialty skills for each item, and my job is to teach guys how to bring that together to deliver an award-winning project where every part of that project is high-end and top-level quality work. So that's what I'm teaching, and guys are lining up to join the group. The reason why I call it the Rockstar Platform is because sometimes I pick up conversations with clients or other contractors where they'll say things like, "Yeah, I had this water feature guy, and he totally did an amazing job, and I mean, this guy was a true rock star." They say that term a lot, or the client will say, "These guys are total rock stars," just to describe someone who goes above and beyond the normal scope of work. That's a rock star to me. So that's why I call it the Rockstar Platform. And we have this thing called Rockstar Moments as well, where we all tell a story about when we went above and beyond because we were really enjoying the process. We get lost in our project sometimes of how amazing it is that we're not really focused on the profit dollars at that point. We should, but we're just focused on the creative side of things. And because our biggest reward is completing that project and standing back and looking at it and saying, "That's my creation," So that's how you develop rockstar moments. And those are the guys that I want in my group.
Well, I definitely think there's an opportunity for mentoring in the hardscape industry, and social media has done wonders for connecting people, right? I mean, just think about it. 20 years ago, those guys wouldn't have been able to DM you and get that stuff through the course by phone or whatever, the correspondence course, to get that kind of mentoring. And And what do you say? $98 a month?
It's $97 a month. And I wish I had that group when I started. I wish I had a group like that I was a part of when I started, because it really would have saved me from a lot of trial and errors, and just real quick, there's some guys out there that are trying to present the business, the hardscape, the landscape industry as something easy as 1, 2, 3. And from my experience, and the same thing with a few other guys that are old school in this business, it's not easy as 1, 2, 3. It's building a business. Starting a business is easy. Building the business right is not easy. So that's why it's important to have a mentor to help you reduce the amount of mistakes that we make along the way,
100%. I love it. We're going to take another quick break here on the Digital Contractor Show on Turfs Up Radio, and we'll be back.
Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, this is Chris Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscaping business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
We are back on the Digital Contractor Show on Turfs Up Radio with Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California. And we're going to talk about hindsight. This is my favorite part of the show when we talk about all the times we got hit in the face. Robert, what are the top 3 things you wish you knew when you started?
Well, there's one thing that I always say. Making money is easy. Managing money is the tricky part. Managing it. So when I first started our business, we would go out and we do business. We get a lot of money, and we're just thinking, well, we just made 20 grand right now in 1 week, But the steps of starting a business, I think there's a sequence. You need a business plan. You need to have your insurances in line. You need to have an accountant. You need to have, your accounting system. You need to have your payroll company backing you. So all the basic things of starting a business, that's one thing that I wish I should have had, because there were a lot of situations in the first 3 to 4 years of our business that pretty much forced us to get payroll and an attorney and an accountant, because in this industry, especially the green industry, you need to be very careful. There's a lot of people out there trying to make a quick buck, So guys getting hurt on the job site without us having a work comp policy is a big learning situation that we went through. So, and you just have to operate by the rules. I have another saying, if you want a piece of the pie, you got to pitch in for the batter. You can't just expect to make all this money and not really pay your insurances. I feel that, if the $20,000 that we made, in that week or those 2 weeks is not realistic. It's not real profit. If you're not accounting for your insurances and your taxes and your licenses and your overtime, all these things. So it's just, general steps of starting and running a business can really hurt anyone, So that's one mistake.
That's one thing I noticed an awful lot talking to guys too. They were great technicians, great install, great designers, but terrible businessmen. They had no idea how many ducks there were to get into a row before they went out into business, thinking they could do it easier. So it's definitely something to think about, how many hours you're going to spend after you're out of the field running the business itself, not just the job. What would you say the biggest marketing mistake that taught you the most was?
I would say not having, that's, now that I think about it, I think being afraid to invest in marketing, there's marketing campaigns that are, hey, I'm dropping $3,000 a month for this marketing campaign. But it's delivering, $40,000 of revenue a month or so. A lot of the times we have our eye on the $3,000 a month or $2,000 a month for marketing, and we think that we're going to lose that money, And so we stick to old school marketing, like passing out business cards at the cars at Home Depot, hoping that someone would actually not throw away our card and call us. I think one of my biggest mistakes is really not investing sufficient or reasonable money into marketing campaigns that were offered to me at the time. I think there's a possibility I'd be in a different level right now if I were to pursue it. And the reason why I know this is because a lot of the guys that I'm actually mentoring right now in my group, and I'm talking about there's a 15-year-old kid and his twin brother from Colorado who are making $1.1 million this year in revenue. And these guys are dumping $3,000 to $4,000, and you should have them in your show, $3,000 to $4,000 a month in marketing. And they don't care about that. They're looking at the $1.1 million revenue they made this year. And here's me and my dad afraid to drop $500 or $300, at a marketing campaign, a click, pay-per-click or whatever it was back in the day, Yellow Book, it just feels like we're throwing away money. But in reality, that's how you build your business, So I think I should have really pursued online marketing a lot more aggressively and as an investment. And I think I probably would have been in a different spot today.
Right. Well, and that's actually a big tip for everybody out there. What would you say your biggest marketing happy accident was? The one thing that fell in your lap or stumbled into and actually turned out to be awesome?
Well, I think, you're talking about like regards to digital as well too, or anything?
Just anything, but digital too. Yeah. Like whatever worked out.
Yeah. I think that when we signed up for the Blue Book, which is kind of like the Yellow Book, but for commercial properties, we signed up and it was like $350 a month. And all the leads we got were for prevailing wage jobs or like government funded jobs and $1.1 million project. And there's this big city park, and we're just looking at these jobs and we're thinking, we can't do these jobs, but we're stuck in a contract, And so we just had to ride the contract all the way through. But we did get this one lead, Comrent Inc. They were a hotel renovation company, and they called us to give them a bid on some concrete work for the Bonaventure Hotel in downtown LA. And that's where they discovered our talent. And so I think we're probably on our 40th hotel that we remodeled for them. So we've done the Ritz-Carlton in Marina del Rey, the Marriott in Marina del Rey. We've done the W Hotel in San Diego. There's I can go on Woodland Hills. There's Newport Beach, Bayview, on and on and on and on. Hotel after hotel. And to be honest with you, that this company, we're family to them. So they don't really ask you for prices. They just want Angel's Landscape on the job because they know it's going to be done right. But I discovered them through the Blue Book. That's the one client I got from the Blue Book, the only one. And I think all the work that we've done for Comrent has paid off, 100 times what I invested in the Blue Book. It just felt right. we were in this prison, like paying this $350 a month. And like, man, why did we get into this mess? But that one account came through.
So that's awesome. So real quick, what do you have to say to anybody starting a contracting business or looking to take it to the next level? Like, what's the advice you'd give them?
I say the advice is first of all, be mentored. When you're going to take a step like running a business, you have to understand that in business, there's the fun stuff and then there's the not so fun stuff. When you sign up to be a business owner, you need to be ready to do the dirty work as well too. That means you need to discipline, bad employees or employees that break the company policy. You need to have a company policy. You need to have a company vision. You need to believe in your company vision more than anyone. Otherwise, you're not going to take your vision or your mission statement serious. You need to ask yourself, there's a possibility that I'm not made to be a business owner. I'm probably made to be a number two guy for a business owner. So all these things you learn through the process of mentoring, through being a part of a group where you're actually, you have a second set of eyes, you have questions, and you're going to help yourself. It's like I missed out on a lot of good potential work because I was afraid to pay for advertisement. Don't miss out on the possibility of starting your business outright by not paying a private group or a mentor. It doesn't have to be my group. It can be another group. But I feel that people that are getting into the construction industry, the landscape industry, the hardscape industry, it's a very creative and artistic industry. I mean, the Getty Center and, the LACMA, there's a lot of landscape and hardscape elements there that people come from all over the world to see. My goal and the goal of a bunch of other guys that I network with is for the general population to see us differently, to see us like you would see a doctor or a lawyer or someone that is highly respected. And that's not just people in the hardscape and in the landscape industry. That's people in the construction industry, because we go through a lot. People don't know what we go through trying to carry out our craft, what we enjoy, but at the same time being forced to learn all this other business side that can be very complicated, especially in California where there's employee handbooks and there's lawsuits and there's people getting hurt, insurances. All these things can distract you from what you love to do the most. And one thing I teach is that you need a team. You definitely need a team. You're good at closing deals and running jobs and developing relationship with your client and building a team, but you may not be good at tracking profit and building spreadsheets. That's where your payroll, that's where your accountant comes in. You may not be good at generating leads. That's where your marketing agent comes in, where they build you your pages and your click funnels and your campaigns, etc. You need your designers, you need your attorney, you need your mentors. So you really need a mastermind, because you cannot do it alone if you want to be a successful business.
You cannot do it alone. Take that advice to heart, guys. We're going to take another quick break, but we'll be back with more from Robert on the Digital Contractor Show.
Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, this is Chris Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscaping business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet.
We're back on the Digital Contractor Show on Turfs Up Radio with Robert Renteria from Angels Landscape in Paramount, California. Do you have any additional nuggets of wisdom or insight that you'd like to share today?
Absolutely, yes. So a big part of my learning experiences, some good, some bad, is just the whole concept of being in partnership. So one thing when my dad's my partner, one thing we talked about when I joined him was, he says, "Hey, well, come work with me, and I need your help over here." And so I said, "Okay, Dad, I have three conditions. One is I'm not going to be your employee. I want to be your partner 50-50. Two, we have to be legit. We can't be working under the table. paying people cash, because, at the end of the day, I sing in the choir and I'm a community leader, and, I can't, that's just not a part of my values. 3, we have to be the best. We have to always aim to be the best. We can't just do mediocre work. And he says, yeah, of course. Absolutely. Why not? Of course. You have to be careful when somebody says, yes, of course. You have to know people deep in their core, and they have to prove with time that they are actually in line with your values. In fact, they're not even your values, they're their values. Sometimes people will adjust themselves to make themselves look like they're aligned with your values. But partnerships, if you guys are not on the same page with the same values, it's not going to work, and it's going to rob you of a good 10-year period that you could have succeeded. I've seen some partnerships that do really well, but mostly I see partnerships that fail because people are not on the same page. So my challenge to everybody here is that there's a possibility that you don't really need a partner to start. You just need a good mentor to help you start and to bounce ideas back and forth with a mentor who's not your business partner. You might just need a number 2 guy that you train and invest in. So all these things, I encourage you to join a mentoring group. I encourage you to join my group. My platform is called the Rockstar Platform, and you can message me on Instagram. My Instagram is artist_Renteria. Artist_Renteria. Renteria is spelled Renteria, and I can tell you more about what the platform is about, what you can expect from it, and also about my mentoring program that I have as well. So, yeah, so don't rob yourself of a 10-year period where you could have been scaling because you're wasting time in a bad partnership. And if you're going to start a business, start it right, because stuff will go wrong. It's just a matter of when. It will go wrong, and if you're not built right, if you don't have your insurances and your taxes and your licenses in place, you're going to go down. Start it right. It's better, because if you don't start it right, you're going to have to undo it and then redo it right. It's a waste of time.
Perfect. That is solid gold, guys. Solid gold. And I highly encourage you to reach out to Robert and learn more about what he's got going on. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Contractor Show on Turf Stop Radio, and we will see you next time.